Wakanda forever.
There's no hard R in Wakanda, you racist. What's with this guy?
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. All right, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Baby, yeah, baby, woo, baby, having some fun tonight.
I'm trying to guess it, but it's like a million songs with baby in it, so I don't know.
Little Richard, yo, Long Tall Sally from Predator.
Oh, okay. Oh, and within the okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Nurse, you bully host Leroy, aka Isn't Black Planted White just Tarzan? With my co-host. Messed that up again.
Sure. Yeah, this is Eli, aka Jar Jar Beatnuts.
They do. You remember that one? Okay.
Do. Yep.
Anyway, we're not doing.
I should have did that song instead.
You should have did that one. You should have did that one. It was on your mind already. Anyway, and also shout out to our third co-host, the Doombot, the AI. Shout out to the Doombot.
Oh, hail the Doombots.
The entity. Y'all taking over the world. So yeah. So shout out to y'all. I know we record on Sunday. Things came up. I know we missed last week. Things came up. But we're here now. We're here Monday. So don't complain about me saying, oh, yeah, I didn't record this week. We did. We're doing it now.
Yeah, my boss. We're here. We're here, my boss.
So if you say you didn't, no, we were posting now. Also, we're doing it at a reasonable time. So people keep complaining about we record at 2:00 in the morning or whatever like that, and you can't stay up late enough for that. Hey, you're not doing anything. Check us out. There's no TV.
But now it's PG. It's the PG bullies, I guess.
Oh, no. This is not going to be PG. We're going all out. Shut the front door. We are getting bleeped everything. Anyway, we got 2 weeks of work to show we need to run through. So can we go? Can we start with it?
Let's get it. Let's get it going.
All right, because we got to go to it. You got stuff. I got stuff. Before we get into it, Eli, I do want to do a music review, an album review. I know it's a comic book podcast. We got plenty of comic books to talk about. Want to do album review. Want to talk about where is it? Nope, not Predator. That's Ice Cube, which is a great album. You need to go for that. Album not as good, Lil Wayne, the Carter Six. Now, the reason I'm doing it, Eli, because people wanted me to talk about the Carter Six. They wanted to know what I thought about the album. So this is what I thought about the album.
Ass.
There you go. All right, so that's what I thought about the album. Now,
all right.
I do want.
Can we tie this to comic books?
You can. I want to see how clever you are with this. I want to see if you can tie this to comic books.
Lil Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah, that. Okay. Nobody knows what we're talking about because that is so. that podcast maybe got deleted when we did that one. Oh yeah, that's some X-rated stuff we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about that. Also, here's the thing, Eli. I was listening to this album and I was like, man, this album is garbage. These albums, the beats are terrible. Who's doing these beats? Then I looked at the credits and I found out who did one of the beats on the album. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay. Okay.
He did one of the beats on this album. The worst beat on the album. I'm like, why the fuck is he here? Now, for those who don't know who they did, this is the guy that, wrote Hamilton, acted in Hamilton, started Hamilton, and also did Eli's favorite musical, In the Heights. So,
yeah, so great.
I'm joking,
I forgot to watch it. Yeah,
I know you really need to watch it, Eli. It's great. It's a great musical. Great numbers. But yeah, let's go to right now. So I just listened. I was like, I can't listen to this shit, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. So I stopped listening. And matter of fact, Eli, I'm gonna make a bold claim on this podcast right here. I think the Will Smith album that came out this year is better than that Lil Wayne album just came out.
Okay.
I know that's a banned topic, but I'm just going to put that out there. So that's what I'm going
to say. Well, okay. What was Lil Wayne? What did Lil Wayne had to say this time?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Okay. He said the same thing he said like the last 30 years he's been rapping. How rich
Bitches,
he is.
bitches.
Bitches, how rich he is, how much drugs he smokes, all stuff like that, how much money he has. Okay, so after
Well,
20
damn, yeah.
years,
If he smokes his drugs, he's got to be rich because that shit ain't cheap.
yeah, so well, he might even smoke now. At this point, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Point is, his material hasn't grown over 20 years of rapping. But at the same time, Eli, I'd like to think that none of us are the same people we were 20 years ago. I'm not saying I 20 years ago. I didn't know you 20 years ago, but I imagine you was a different person 20 years ago. So
I probably, yeah. You know.
Probably so. So the point is, why am I still listening to a guy that hasn't evolved musically in 20 years? Why am I still listening to this? Why am I listening to a 40-year-old rapping like a 20-year-old? I don't want to hear this shit. So I just cut this shit off. I was like, I'm done. So that's mine. So
Well, okay. May I cut in?
go for it.
As a metal guy, there are certain bands that have their own style, and you just expect them to sound that way, even though people will say, "Oh, they just write the same album over and over and over." But it's like that's their style. They develop the style. That's what they sound like. They sound like how they always sound like. So, like bands like Cannibal Corpse or Slayer or AC/DC or Iron Maiden, they just have a distinct style. When you hear them, oh, that's that band. You know. Yeah, but that's musically. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's I guess this is different for hip hop.
That's the thing. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's everybody else. Maybe it's that I can't listen to what I listened to 20 years ago. I have outgrown that.
Oh yeah. Well, like on Wu-Tang's Better Tomorrow, they're not. You know, that's way different than 36 Chambers or Forever. You know,
right? It's a different sounding album. You're not making the same thing over and over and over again, and that's fine if you're doing that. But me personally, I can't sit there and listen to it all day.
Yeah.
I gotta hear.
They're rapping about getting out of jail and how good it is to get out of jail instead of
right. Like I don't really want to sit here and listen to music, the same music I listened to 20 years ago with no substance. No, I can't. Other people, you like it, that's cool, fine with you, but I'm okay.
Yeah. I guess you reach a certain age where you're just done with hood rats, like
I can't do it, man. But hey, if it sells, it sells. That's fine. I just can't do it.
Peace of mind matters more.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say he's the problem. I'm the problem. All right. Oh,
you got too old for Lil Wayne.
I think I did get too old for Lil Wayne. He's still little. He's a 40-year-old dude, call himself little. So that's tell you right there. So,
yeah, I guess Old Man Wayne don't ring.
Old Man Wayne, but you know what? I'd rather listen to Old Man Wayne, whatever that is. If you said you Old Man Wayne, I'm like, okay, let me just see what Old Man Wayne has. Rapping about getting out of bed and his back hurting and his
yeah. Things you can relate to. We can relate.
I can relate to. Yes. Yeah. Relate to me, Lil Wayne. Can we go past that?
Yeah, speak for me, damn it.
Right. Even crazier. We're gonna talk about some of this shit right here. Let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. Now, the reason we're talking about Sydney Sweeney, mainly because Sydney Sweeney, a tip for any content creators out there, she is great for the algorithm. So
just leave that up. Leave that picture up for the whole podcast.
Yeah. Just leave it up for the whole podcast.
Let's just get all the hits. Watch us finally get paid. We'll finally get monetized.
Finally, we'll get there. Sydney Sweeney. We owe it all to you, Sydney Sweeney. But yes. But the point is, what I'm going to do on here, Eli, have you heard any news about what she's been doing for the last 2 weeks?
Not really. I'm sure she's in a movie.
Because you're not on that side of the internet. So I'm good for you. Good for you. Shame on me for being on this side of the internet. But the point is, what she's done for the last 2 weeks, and I meant to do this last week when we didn't record a podcast, that she announced that she was selling soap with her bathwater in it.
Oh, Jesus, really?
That was last week. So I was going to announce that. But here's the thing. The soap dropped last week, 2 weeks, a day or so ago. Like, it doesn't matter. Whenever it dropped, the point is, it's sold out in seconds. She's selling her bathwater and it's sold out in seconds. So my thing is this, Eli. It's just, we were supposed to have flying cars in 2025. Where did we go wrong, Eli? Where did we go wrong? Yeah,
flying cars, but instead we got soap that smells like olive loaf.
Right.
That's been sitting out on a counter all day.
Right. Now, the good thing about it, that her fans that probably bought that soap, they probably need it. So good for them. But I'm just saying, we're not gonna make it as a human race. I see this now. If we're doing shit like this, we're already cooked. I see that now. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. You know where I was about to go, but I'm not gonna go there. Some
It's
shit going on out west.
if you claim this is still Bullies After Dark,
I mean, it's 7 o'clock in Mississippi. It's after dark.
the sun's still up around here, but yeah.
No. Well, you're on the same time. You're in the same time zone, so yeah, it's after dark up there also. So, all right, that's all I got. That's all I got. We'll move on past that. Okay, now Eli, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay.
Because with some stuff you want to talk about, we're gonna go to. So we want to say rest in peace to Jonathan Joss.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I know.
Dude,
it happened. It happened this week, so that's what we're gonna talk.
You catching me off guard.
I wanted to start off with some light and fluffy stuff before we.
Yeah. So Jonathan Joss, I'm sure everybody's heard by now. He was the voice of John Redcorn on King of the Hill. He was on other stuff. He was in the shitty remake of Magnificent Seven. He was the bad Indian in that movie. He was also on Parks and Rec. I also know him from Parks and Rec, you know. But yeah, he was tragically murdered in front of his house from, I guess, years of harassment. It's a sad fucking story. So, you know, it's sad to hear.
And just like I said, it is Pride Month also. So the fact that this is this month, so
yeah, it's especially heartbreaking to hear. And John Redcorn is one of the better representations of natives in recent times, even though he is a cartoon, but he was, you know, played for a lot of humor, you know. So, you know, honoring for that is a big deal. So yeah, wish a good journey to him, to Jonathan Joss. And yeah, that this one hurts, you know? Yeah.
So, and I'm just glad he was able to, well, first off, I just want to talk about the John Redcorn storyline of King of the Hill. It's one of my favorites. For those who haven't seen King of the Hill, know what we're talking about. The fact that one of the dude's kids, Hank's kids, looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
While
Dale,
one of his friends
like
is raising him, Dale is raising him. Yeah, doesn't know anything going. So the whole point is about, you know, the dude that's in love with, you know, a married woman. You know, tying that into comics. That's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah.
Oh, so is John Redcorn the Namor of King of the Hill?
Namor's native now, so I mean, don't blame me, blame Marvel. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. Oh yeah. So, and the funny thing about it, like I said, since there was a popular song about that John Redcorn, because there was a guy named Sir that came out about 10 years ago, I guess. I don't know when that song came out. The whole song was about him being married, in love with a married woman, and the video was him just doing John Redcorn, you know. But he made himself look like John. Oh, we're going to
Oh shit, Redcorn. That's right. That just happened. Oh damn, man. Yeah.
That just happened. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that in a second. That's the next thing on the list. So yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. That. So his numbers on and the name of the song is John Redcorn. So that's why the song landed and jumped up in the algorithm. So shout out to him. So yeah. Rest in peace to Jonathan Joss. Matter of fact, his husband, boyfriend, lover, partner, whatever you want to call it, posted exactly how he died. It was heartbreaking. Like it was. Yeah, I read the whole thing. I was like, wow. So hold on.
Yeah. So good journey to him.
Oh, that must have been from either. I don't know if you're laughing at Sydney Sweeney or what.
Oh, Jakey Poo's in the house.
Jake is in the house. Where are you at, Jake? Let's see. Did he keep?
I gotta get my glasses on. I can't read this shit.
Oh, did he keep the episode for himself for the rebranding? Because they are bringing back King of the Hill. That's right. I think it's like about 3 or 4 people that passed from that show.
Yeah, and I
get
that show. Yeah, she was on there. Yeah.
So crazy.
I'm trying to get my glasses so I can read Jake's comments.
Okay. That means say now we move on. So we talk about Jonathan Joss. I want to talk because this just happened like right when I was getting.
I just found out about literally about an hour ago. So
yeah. So for those who know, this is Sly Stone from Sly and the Family Stone. So great band back in the 70s like that. Fun thing, it was the first big nationwide radio band that was integrated. It had black and white members. So they were making music for everybody. That was like the first time that ever happened. So I thought that was pretty cool for him doing it back in the 70s. It was controversial. And
who was the
average white band have black people in it?
Like maybe backup, like in the backup, like in the back. The back band.
Because there was another, it was Sly and Stone, but it was another band that was out there that had black and white members also. And I don't know if it was the I know the Doobie Brothers had it because they had Michael McDonald. Some other people. But the average white band, I think they were a mixed band also. But it was another band back there also. But I think Sly and Family Stone were like the first band to do that. So yeah, and had some great
Larry Graham.
Like, just listen to a whole bunch of their other songs. I mean, you've heard all of their songs. I mean, they're everywhere. So
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, and they were highly influential. I'm thinking, was he one of the first guys, the bass player? Trying to look up his name. Was he one of the first guys to do the slap bass? You know, bop, 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 you know.
Oh, you got me on that one, but that's deep cut if it is.
Yeah, I might. No, don't quote me. I might. You know, we don't know what we're talking about. I just might have heard. We're just being recorded live stream. That's all.
Yeah,
slap. Oh yeah, Larry Graham, slap bass technique, pioneered the slapping technique on the electric bass. He refers to as thumping and plucking. Yeah,
Jay, quit acting like a Gen Z. You know these folks.
Okay. Yeah, man.
you know these folks, man. I know
you're embarrassing me, man.
I know you're doing a shtick right now. You know, but still. All right. So
also, Sly was a fucking activist. He was involved, like the Black Panthers and a lot of the civil rights movements, and yeah, he was very outspoken about, you know, civil rights and during a very turbulent time, you know. So. Yeah. Didn't you get an argument with
the 70s? You had to pick a side back then. So
well, yeah. Who did you get in an argument with? It was on Johnny Carson. Was it Muhammad Ali or was it Richard Pryor? Where they got into an argument? I can't remember. It went viral a few years ago. He was on like Johnny Carson or Larry King or a talk show, and they got. Yeah, remember. See again. Don't quote me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Say that because, like I said, this just happened, so I'm pretty sure everything you're saying right now is going to go viral in about a day or 2 days from now.
Yeah. So, but anyways, good journey to this guy, Sly. Yeah. You know, everyday people. You know, their cover of their cover of Que Sera Sera.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me be myself.
Yeah. If you want me to stay, you know.
You should have did that at the beginning.
Bunch of banger, yeah.
Oh man. And also for people that know, if you know, people are gonna say that Sly Stone looks a lot like Akeem Ali, but I'm gonna just throw that out there. I know you know who that is, Eli, but he's a big thing down here. You know, so all right. Now we can get to it. Okay. We can talk about what we came to talk about. Okay, because I know you saw a movie. You know what? We saw a movie.
I'm about to say, did you watch this shit?
I watched it. I said, because I knew you were gonna like do a long, lengthy, deep think on it discussion. So I'm like, let me go watch. So at least I know what the hell
girthy review. Yes,
right. I know you're gonna go in deep in it and see what the Predator represents. You know, I know you're gonna go into that. So okay.
I could if you want and piss everybody off.
The floor is yours, Eli. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Man.
Well, you see, the Predator represents toxic masculinity.
Now, let's just say for the people don't know anything now, because like I said, people don't know what we talk about. We're talking about Predator, Killers of Killers. It is an animated movie that came out on Hulu or Disney Plus if you have that package also. I watched on Disney Plus. So yeah. And it was directed by the same guy that did Prey. So and then we found out not throwing spoilers out there, it turns out that they're connected. We didn't know that. So so we're building lore from this. So So now let me step back and let Eli just run wild. Let him take over.
Well, yeah. So yes, Predator, Killers of Killers. I fucking loved it. I thought this was awesome. I had a blast watching this. I was already kind of excited to see it, but I was a little reserved because the track record on Predator movies are kind of hit or miss. You know, most of them aren't that good, but you know, I watched them anyways and just kind of whatever. I did enjoy Prey immensely. So I had some high, my expectations were, above the mid-range for this, especially after watching the trailer. I'm like, that looks awesome, So I went in expecting good things, and I think my expectations were surpassed because this blew me away. I loved it. I've watched it twice now. And yes, I've from the beginning, I've been a Predator fan. I've seen all the movies in the theaters. Saw that, OG was one of my favorites. I love Predator 2. I saw Predator 2 twice. Like I watched it and then sat and watched it again. Like back when, because I was a lonely nerd outcast.
You mean in the theaters? You mean in the theaters?
Yeah, in the theaters. I sat and watched it twice in a row in the theaters back then. That's how much I love that shit, you know. And I became a fan of the comic books, video games. Yes, I've been just a Predator fan. Toys, I got, you know, so many Predator figures and toys, all that shit. So yeah, I'm a Predator fan. And this movie kind of just showcases why I love the Predator so much. It's based, yes, like you said, it's an animated story. It's an animated movie. It is an anthology. We have 3 different tales of different time periods of when a predator came to Earth and fought humans throughout history, which is basically taken from the comic books. A lot of the comic books are just that, are just one-shot standalone tales of predators, you know, fighting various adversaries throughout history. You know? And this movie really, you know, dove into that. You know, we've seen predators fight samurai in the comics. We've seen them fight pirates, knights, you know, the mafia, you know. So yeah, that concept is not new, but seeing it on screen was a lot of fun, you know. And yeah, the first story is about a Viking shield maiden, Valkyrie, warrior woman out for revenge, you know. A lot of fun. The second story was about samurais and ninjas, which was awesome. Probably my favorite.
Of the 3, yeah.
Yes, that was awesome. And then the third one was about a World War II pilot, you know, a dogfight. So we saw a Predator dogfight, like a Predator spaceship in a dogfight, which we've never seen before on screen. And I had a blast with that, you know. So that was, and then of course there was the wraparound story. So I sort of tied it all together, tied it to the rest of the franchise. We see these 3 warriors go back to the Predator planet or spoilers, I'm spoiling it now, and fight, you know, and sort of a gladiator combat scene at the end. And it ties it all together, all the stories together, and as well as to the rest of the franchise. And spoilers, we find out that the Predators still have Naru from Prey.
Yep.
The woman warrior from Prey, the woman hunter from Prey. They have her in sort of cryogenic suspended animation, you know.
Yeah, they got to explain how they got it, because obviously they went back. They had to go back because she got away from it. So, yeah.
Remember in the after credit scenes on Prey, they show the animation where the Predators return, you know. So obviously they came back and took her. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. I thought this was a blast. It was very brutal. The action was brutal. It was very gory, very violent. And as far as the animation, it had that sort of, you know, like into the Spider-Verse kind of animation. Yeah. And I thought that translated very well with the Predators as far as like the new tech, their invisibility.
It felt like each Predator had different tech.
Yeah, like the Viking one, he was like a big giant behemoth, like Hulk, like a Viking warrior, you know, berserker Predator. And then in the samurai one, he looked like he was basically a ninja. He was all agile and thin and skinny, you know. And then in the third one, he was a pilot. You know, he was just a pilot. You know, he had a shaved head, like he didn't have any dreadlocks or whatever, or predlocks, what the fans say, what the nerds say.
Right.
You know, so yeah, everybody had their own style, you know. And I thought the animation lent itself very well. I thought it added the agility of how the Predators moved was really cool to see it animated. And, you know, even though it had the cinematography was cool, like had really cool, like, scenery and visuals, it still had a cartoony element, like a comic book element. Like as far as the character designs, the creature designs, they were sort of big like and bulky and exaggerated. And stuff, but that exaggerated cartoon style, which added to the comic book nature of the action, you know. Right. So I thought it was a cool balance of like gritty realism and campy comic book fun, you know. so yeah, I loved it. I think it's one of the coolest Predator flicks now. It's up there as far as ranking. You know, the Predator movies, I think it's one of the best sequels in the Predator franchise. Obviously, Dan Trachtenberg knows what makes a good Predator movie. Right. It's very fast-paced. Like each
That's
the
what I
thing.
liked about it. They didn't it wasn't slow at all. They went through it and I was loving it. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's my problem with a lot of the Predator
Very little
sequels.
dialogue in it also, which I also
Yeah,
appreciate.
I don't think there was any dialogue in the samurai one. I don't think anybody spoke.
But yeah, but you understood everything that was going on. You understood the story.
Yeah, it was all visual. That was great, you know. But yeah, like a lot of the problems I have with a lot of the Predator sequels is they take forever to get going. You know, they always try to build on a mystery that we already know what's going on. We already know, you know, by the fifth movie, we know what we're going to go see. And I feel like every movie wastes time trying to like, what's happening? What's doing all these killings? Like we know, and it just wastes time. Whereas every story like got going. It was very fast paced and not a dull moment, you know, and and I feel like that works the best for the Predator, and especially now. By this point, you don't have to waste time trying to like build this like mystery we already know the answer to. You know, it got going. All the stories got going right away. Even with the characters, we knew what the characters wanted and their motivations and the depth of their dramatic action. We knew the characters, even though they were all like short half-hour stories. You know, it had just enough character development to move it along and keep us interested. So yeah. And I feel like Dan Trachtenberg knows this. You know, he knows how to pace the action, knows how to pace these movies, knows what makes a good Predator flick. And that's just like, let's get going. Let's get to the hunt, you know? Even with Prey was like 90 minutes. Barely. Right. Was it? You know, yeah. And it got
that's all a Predator movie needs to be. You don't need a 3-hour Predator movie. So.
Yeah. And, you know, like in Prey, we saw the Predator right away. We saw it land. We saw it start hunting right away. It started out with like the smaller animals. It started out with the snake. Then it moved on to the wolf and then to the bear. And then it eventually started fighting the humans. So it was like this certain predator's first time on Earth. And it didn't know where he was and he didn't know what to hunt. So it's like going up the food chain and then ended up on humans and then got defeated by the humans. You know, and if you're a Predator fan, you know that's, you know, that they're a warrior society, and okay, this planet has worthy prey, honorable prey, a prey that can hunt you, like they said in the movie, something that can something that can hunt you, you know, and that's like in, you know, the Predator culture, the Predator warrior code, you know, that's considered a high honor to take a trophy of something that can kill you. You know, so yeah, I you know, he knocked it out of park again, and now I'm really looking forward to the Badlands, his next movie.
Does come out this year, right?
Yep, in like the fall. So now I'm excited because, you know, he knows how to make a Predator movie.
Yeah, I want to see if it all ties in together. Like Badland come out, will you have to watch this? Will it flow into that? We don't know. So
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I loved it. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. The only knock I'm getting it is it was too damn short. I wanted more. I actually wanted more. You know? Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, everything you said, I agree with it. The animation did catch me off guard at first. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this choppy Spider-Verse thing. But the more I got into it, I was into it. The Predator designs, the best. I've seen these are the best Predator designs. I think each one looked different. Each one, especially the head king Predator, he looked like a fucking dinosaur or some shit. I like, damn, he looks great. So
yeah, and I'm wondering,
bring him back some kind of way. I don't know how, but bring him back.
So you remember the gun? He throws in, you know, Naru gets that gun, which is a shout out to Predator 2 when that elder Predator threw Danny Glover. The old musket gun, you know.
Yeah, the gun keeps getting handed down, and
and in Prey it was revealed that it came from that French trapper guy, you know.
Look at this. Speak of the devil.
Yeah, Fat T's in the house. Yeah, 5 out of 5.
And that's the thing, because Fat T always complained we record too late. So there you go. So he showed up.
He's in the house.
He kept his promise. All right.
Yeah. So, but at the end, you know, when you know, the pilot kid that was his weapon, because each warrior got a weapon from their time, and he got that little musket gun. You know, I'm wondering if that Predator elder is the same Predator elder from Predator 2. that gave Danny Glover the gun. So
yeah.
Me just nerding out, being a Predator nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Torres was native guy, gave him Naru's weapon. Oh, we were arguing about this. Yeah, but it was a French gun. So
right.
Yes, they're both native.
All right. So, all right, we good? We move past that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't.
I thought you were gonna go longer, but okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just. I mean, I could go into the history of Predator, but no.
I'm pretty sure we got Badlands for that. Badlands, go wild.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So yeah,
right.
Predator, Killers of Killers, dope.
Nice.
Certified dopeness. You heard it here.
We recommend it. Go watch it. You haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the video game section. I want to talk about two things because there's a whole bunch of video game news that dropped. One thing dropped, Nintendo Switch 2 dropped. Not going to talk about it. It happened. Move on past that. Next thing happened is Xbox announced that they are dropping a handheld device.
Okay.
They're saying that, but they're not really saying that. I don't really think it is, but I'll show you what they're talking about. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna actually show the footage. Oh wow, that worked. Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're talking about the footage. They dropped the handheld device, but the thing is, it's not really a handheld device. What it is an Xbox ROG Ally. Oh, I'm sorry, ROG Ally is what it is. So what they did, they partnered with them to basically make this handheld device that kind of can do everything. It can do Xbox, it can do Battle.net, it can do Steam, it can do Epic Games, like PC gaming. It can do PC gaming also. And you got this thing in the palm of your hands. You just walk around with everything. It's supposed to be, but they haven't announced the price yet. We don't know what the price is going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some outrageous and ridiculous stuff like that. But this machine has an Xbox button on it, so it's pretty cool. Since it runs on Windows 11, hell, you might even be able to play, sign into PlayStation games on there. Possible. We don't know the full capabilities of what this thing is. Main thing I want to talk about this thing.
Before you go, answer the most important question of all. What really matters to the people.
Okay.
Can you watch porn
on it? Why did I know you were going to say it? I knew you were going to go there. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. That would be the first thing. So I'm pretty sure you're the same people that bought City.
Well, then this is going to be the next big thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. But the point is, I want to talk about this, is that this thing already exists. You really don't need to spend money on this thing, because people saying they want an Xbox handheld thing, a thing to play Xbox. They already exist. Get this shit out of here. Point is, I'm trying to make is, you can already, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can already play that anywhere. You can play it on your phone. You play it on your tablet. You can play it on your computer. You can play it on your TV. You can sign in with anywhere. Like, you got a Samsung TV.
Well, that's when you're supposed to play it, right?
You can. Yeah, you can. But I'm saying, but if you have a Fire Stick, I see what you're saying. That I said that did sound stupid when this came out of my mouth. But you can play it on a Fire Stick. You can download the app on the Fire Stick. You can play it from there. You can play it from anywhere. You don't have to buy a $700 machine to do that shit. You don't have to do that. Matter of fact, the week we missed Eli, I was at a group function thing where we was like doing like a game night, stuff like that. Somebody had a MacBook, and I brought my controllers with me because I knew somebody was going to have some kind of computer with them, something like that. So I signed in with them, Xbox Game Pass, and I played Madden. And they looked at me like some kind of sorcerer or some shit. You're like, what manner of sorcery is this? What magic is this you're doing? I'm like,
what demonry is this?
Right. Devilry.
Behold this devilry.
Right. Because the thing is, you can just sign it anywhere. So I played it. And the thing is, I did find this out about Xbox Game Pass. So while I was playing Madden, I had this controller with me. The other guy playing in. It turns out you got to read the fine print. When you're doing the cloud streaming, you can't play multiplayer. That doesn't work. That sucks. So it completely ruined Halo game night for us, because I had it all planned out in my head. This is how it's going to go. Couldn't do it. Damn, sucks. So yeah, but still, you can play this stuff anywhere. You don't need to spend an $800 machine for that. Please, y'all, you utilize the tools that you already have. That's all I'm trying to say. So
okay,
let me say move on to the next part. We're still on video game section. We'll move on to video section. This one we'll talk about also. Okay, so Marvel has a new game coming out. Let me see if I can get this footage up. It's called Tokon. I hope that's not the name of it. But yeah.
Talking balls.
Yeah. Let me see if I get this thing going. Okay, so the point is the video game coming out. It's a fighting game coming out that Marvel has got on there, and yeah, it's looked like it's going to be the next big thing coming out. I'm trying to see if I can throw footage on. Oh, I almost
Marvel Tokon. What did that say?
Tokon. I don't know that. I came this close to deleting you. My fault, Eli. I didn't do it, but I almost did. I apologize for almost doing it. But yeah, point is they have a new fighting game coming out right now. That the game is reminiscent of Marvel's Capcom. People think it's going to be a Marvel's Capcom type game. It's not Marvel vs. Capcom. For those that haven't played DB Fighter Z, the Dragon Ball Z fighting game that came out, it's made by those people.
Oh, so you're going to be able to fly all over the fucking map and shit?
Probably, yeah. I guess you could. I mean, well, actually, you could do that in Marvel's Capcom also. If you have flying character, like you had like Nova or some shit, or Captain Marvel, you can like fly and do combos and shit. Doctor Doom, one of Doctor Doom's Magneto's best combos are flying combos. So yeah.
No, I'm talking about like going all over the map. I like that one. Unless I'm thinking of that one DBZ game.
Not that.
Yeah.
Not that.
Okay.
It's one that's similar to Marvel's Capcom and Street Fighter, but not like that. But
who's that? Is that Dante?
No, that's Star-Lord.
Oh, okay.
I guess saw the enthusiasm just completely deflate from you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I thought this was cool. My fault. Okay.
Oh, Dante. Oh, Starlight. Oh, okay.
So that's the thing. So they got all this stuff coming out there, but the thing is, people think it's gonna be Marvel's Capcom. It's not gonna be like Marvel's Capcom. It's going to be like that Dragon Ball Z game, which plays completely different from each other. So just be ready for that. It's not gonna be the same moves. Not gonna be the same combos. Everything's gonna be different on there. Oh.
Well, it looks cool.
Dr. Doom it looks cool as hell. So will Dr. Doom have his foot dive, the most infamous foot dive in video games? We don't know. We will see. Oh, and it's 4v4.
Oh, damn.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how the hell that's going to work. That sounds like
that sounds like a headache right there.
That sounds like complete chaos. But I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to make it make sense. You know, because if you just have like you're going to only have people like me playing this shit. You know, you gotta have more than me playing it. So
yeah, I'm just saying there's going to be that one asshole that knows how to like beat your ass with every character with one hit, with one hit from every character.
Me, I'm gonna be the guy.
Constantly switching and timing it just right.
Right.
But can I stand up? I guess not.
So I'm pretty sure they're gonna find a way to make it make sense. Because right now it sounds like it's gonna be a headache, but I'm pretty if you're gonna sell this to the masses, you got to make it make sense. So yeah, I'm see how that goes. Oh, and plus like it's 4v4 and Fantastic Four might be in this game. You can play as the Fantastic Four, the whole team.
Oh yeah, there you go.
They haven't announced them yet. This is just me wish fulfillment. That's all. But hoping that happens. So we'll see how it goes. So that's all. I'm excited for it. We're gonna see how it goes. So it didn't come out to 2026 anyway. So yeah. Like all good games. This year sucks. Everything good comes out 2026. So yeah.
So you should be bored of the new Street Fighter by then.
I'm bored with it now. You haven't seen me post anything about that. So yeah. All right. Then we'll get moving to the next part of the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, this comic book bullies. We're talking about comic books. We're going to jump to it. Eli.
Oh, wow. We're here.
We're here already because I thought you were going to go 2 hours on Predator. You didn't. So.
Oh, no. I still can if you want. We'll open up questions. We'll have a Q&A. If you have a Predator fan, you have a Predator question, I will answer it.
Eli will answer. I have nothing for you, but we'll see how it goes. But until then, we're going to review comics. Eli, I'm going to let you go first. What you got first?
I guess I'll do this, the Ghost Rider versus Galactus book.
Okay, so I had no idea this was even a thing.
And I just got this because I was bored, and this might be my book of the week.
Oh, wow. First off, before you get into it, let me ask you this. Is it in continuity?
I don't know. It's it actually takes place back in the 70s. J. Michael Straczynski wrote this.
Okay.
So and it turns out it is just a one shot. So
okay.
Probably not.
Can you read that? Oh, we got a question. Well, Jay got a question.
Does the Predator make love, and how is that possible with his predlocks?
Okay. I wouldn't expect that answer, but okay.
But I don't think is love. I mean, this is a warrior society. Is love a thing with them? I don't know.
What do they have? Women Predator?
They do. Yeah, they do.
Okay. That was gonna be a whole different set of questions. We're gonna be asked for that.
Yeah, they got females.
Okay. Now,
Oh,
sexy
shit.
predator.
Okay,
Now I got to
trying
Google
to.
sexy predator.
In this era of rapid technological advancement, an invisible
Okay.
silent epidemic.
Okay, I'm
What
trying to
you
just.
working that over there? Or something?
I'm trying to open up my Digi Comics here.
Oh, I was going to say, are you
Okay.
asking ChatGPT for that answer or something? Or?
Oh no, it's just I accidentally hit like the YouTube app and it like opened up and started playing a commercial. And I'm just trying to get to my book here.
Okay.
So Galactus Ghost Rider versus Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
But J. Michael Straczynski on the writing, art Juan Ferreira. So his artwork is like very old school looking.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes place in the 70s and it starts out really goofy. Thing is basically looking for a suit because he's going out on a date with what's her face? Not Vanessa. What's his Alicia?
Alicia.
What's her name? Alicia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ghost Rider shows up.
They got the Twin Towers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the 70s. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously, the Ghost Rider shows up. Yeah, so Thing is getting stuck up. He's getting robbed. And I don't know. But then Ghost Rider shows up and is about to give him the penance there. And does give him the penance there, and like he fades away and gets burnt up and shit, and Thing starts bitching at him like, what the hell, man? And he was guilty.
Cool, this is not 70s old school art, Eli. I'm sorry. This is
but it has like an old school quality. Like it looks like it almost has the dots and shit.
Okay. This definitely looks like a new artist, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but there's some panels that's got like the Kirby dots and shit,
Okay.
I just think it looks cool. But anyways,
cool as hell. No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. But anyway, so the Thing has Johnny go help him buy a suit, and while they're talking, he's like, "Hey, man, you got magic, right? Your Hellfire is basically magic." And he's like, "Yeah, well, we use science to, fight our enemies, and there's this one enemy that keeps that we cannot beat. We try beating him with science, and we just can't. We've been able to like chase him away, but he always comes back. And I was wondering if maybe your magic can, beat this guy." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, who is this?" "Oh, it's Galactus." "Is he guilty?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's guilty. He eats worlds. He has killed billions." Like this probably, he even says, Reed probably cannot even calculate how many fucking lives he's taken, because he basically eats entire planets, destroys entire worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing this for eons. And so Ghost Rider's like, "Okay, well, yeah, I'll give it a go." And really cheesily, he jumps on a rocket ship to space.
Did Reed give him the rocket ship?
No, he just goes to like Florida, like Cape Canaveral, like rides his motorcycle to Florida, jumps on the rocket as it's taking off, and goes to space. Let me ask you,
does he haunt the rocket?
No, but like some tentacles come out and it gives them the way to travel through space and shit. Really weird shit. Really goofy, campy shit. But then he finally finds Galactus, and he ends up growing. Like he becomes like Godzilla-sized Ghost Rider in space.
Okay.
Yeah, and he goes up to Galactus and he tries to give Galactus the penance there. And Galactus, like, I don't feel guilty for shit, so it doesn't work.
Right.
And Ghost Rider's like, "What the fuck? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to whoop your ass another way." And then the Watcher shows up, and he's like, "What you trying to do, man?" He's like, "I'm trying to kill Galactus." He's like, "You can't." He's like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, he's like a universal constant. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't. It's like, "What do you mean?" "No, if it bleeds, you can kill it," type of shit. He's trying to say. Oh no, Galactus, and this is where it gets really deep. And this is what made the book for me. The conversation that Ghost Rider has between, that with the Watcher, he's like, that was caught me off guard. Because like I said, this book was really goofy. And then it got to this ending scene. And the Watcher's like, Galactus is basically a force of nature. It cannot be killed. And he's like, well, why is he destroying the universe? Why is he able to destroy whole world? And he goes, because that's his purpose. He's like, why? Why is he supposed to? Why do you let this happen? He's like, well, to make room for more life. And it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Watch it sounding real Thanos-ish with that speech, though. But yeah.
Again, like I said, it's almost like theology, philosophical theology or whatever. He's like, well, he makes room for more life. He's a force of nature. He kills planets, he destroys planets, but then new life takes its place. And he's like, well, what about those old lives? Shouldn't they get justice? It's like, that's not how it works. What happens is with new life has power. Because through this new life, when Galactus destroys the world, it makes room for a new world, a new life. New life begins. They create art. They can create music. They can dance. They have emotions and love and joy, which is a power in itself, which is the exact opposite of destruction and death. And that's why Galactus exists, to do that, so he can make room. Just like a plant. A plant dies and it is reborn. And that's what Galactus is for. And, and Ghost Rider's like, well, I'm still going to kill him one day. But he's still kind of left speechless, and then just goes back to Earth. And then he shows up and he sees Ben and Alicia on their date, and they're like, hey, Johnny, come join us. And he just sits down. Does he know
that Johnny is Ghost Rider? I think you already explained it.
Yeah. And he just sits down and is like, hi, and fucking Ben just sitting there. They're just having dinner with Alicia, and Johnny's just like, yeah, how you doing? He's like, I guess I'm okay. He's like, yeah, check out, this food is really good. It's the simple things. It's the simple, joyful, happy things that make life worth living. And that's kind of where it ends. And Johnny's just like, yeah, I guess it is. And so it's very deep, very deep and philosophical, the spirit of vengeance just says, okay, there's nothing I can do about this.
Right.
What's
he's a force of nature. So
yeah. He sounded like Thanos, awesome, but like Thanos. But Thanos was driven by emotion, whereas Galactus is just meant to feed. He has no emotion. Yeah, he's basically a hurricane. Yeah. So I thought that was great. I was taken aback, like, wow, this started out kind of goofy and kind of campy and fun and lighthearted, and then it just turned into this big, deep philosophical discussion. And I was like, wow, okay. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I know everybody remembers that Fantastic Four cartoon where it was in the 90s where Richard Grieco voiced Ghost Rider.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Remember Flame On, in the rap, the Johnny Storm.
Okay, I deleted that from my mind, but but the point was that Ghost Rider fought Galactus in that also, because Galactus came to Earth, was ready to destroy everybody, eat everybody like that. And Ghost Rider just popped out of nowhere and just pin and stare Galactus, took him out, and just rode off. And that's it. He was there
so the pen and stare worked on that cartoon.
In that cartoon, yes. He was it dropped Galactus, like he was done.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, what the hell? So but that was going on with that was so when you said Ghost Rider vs. Galactus, that's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
So
I don't remember that. I vaguely remember it, but I don't I can't recall specifics.
Go listen to it, you'll like it.
And the Johnny Storm rap.
They are. I'm not rapping with Johnny Storm. That's where I draw the line. Yeah, him and Lil Wayne. No. Oh man. All right. So I guess it's on me. Okay. So comic books this week were kind of crazy. I'm gonna just get.
It was a kind of a big week as far as big releases.
Not really that, just controversy.
That too.
It was some big week releases also, but controversy, news got out that normally that comic news that we don't really deal with kind of got into pop culture. And it got a little bit out of control. And that's how I know that people are not social media illiterate, because they would just see something and just agree with it and just take off, and that's it. Yeah. So I want to address this.
Yes, the internet proved that they don't read this week.
Yeah, or even comprehend. Their comprehension skills aren't that good.
That's and by reading, I don't even mean read comic books. I mean read articles.
Right.
They read the first two.
Meme. They see a meme. And
they read the first 2 words of the headline and then started talking, then went on a rampage.
They're mad. They're doing TikToks. They're angry. They're furious. For people don't know what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Like, shut the fuck up and go buy that Sydney Sweeney swoop, bitches. So,
cleanse yourself in the waters of Lake
yeah,
Minnetonka.
in the waters of Lake Sydney.
For those who know what we're talking about, boom, we're talking about the word of coming. Even if me posted, you still don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did read this.
I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the general people don't know what I'm talking about.
And the only reason I read this, I mean, you told me about what happened, and I thought it was in the other Hickman book. But then I was like, no, this ain't it. And then
you should have read that also.
I read one of them. But,
okay.
But when I saw this and I said, oh, this is the book where such and such happens. Okay. Right. And then I looked at it and then I read who wrote it.
Right.
And I'm like,
and that's what people are
missing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me check this out.
Yes.
And I read the words in
right. Comprehended the story.
Yes.
Not just what they mean and went off in a tangent and started making all kind of, posts and shit and videos and all this, like, because it's out of control. It's out of control. So first thing first, what I want to do is tell everybody that's listening to this podcast, Ryan Gosling is not the Black Panther. That's not me being racist saying hashtag not my Black Panther. No, he's not. It's not a thing that's happening. That doesn't exist. That's just a rumor that just got out of control, and it got started because of this comic. That's how the reason it got started. Because this comic got out, but the thing is, you just post a comic meme and some shit happened to comic, that doesn't get traction. Nobody read comics, or anybody cares. But if you make a movie rumor about it, now everybody cares. So, can we talk about the comic?
Yes, please. Okay. Let's talk about the comic. Let's give the comic attention.
Let's give the comic attention. This is the world
and
to
not
come.
Not the shitty fucking shithead content creators that are probably going viral and monetizing off of ignorance and stupidity.
Right. It's really sad. The point is, the comic is called The World to Come. It is a alternate future timeline Black Panther comic written by the guy that more or less popularized Black Panther. It was written by Christopher Priest. Now, a lot
of the shit in the movie Black Panther comes from his run.
Yeah. Now, let's put all cards on the table before we get there. Let's put all cards on the table. Before 1998, Black Panther was at best a C-list character. At best. Nobody cared about him. Nobody talked about him. He barely popped up. He didn't have any runs. He just popped up here and there, and that was it. But until Christopher Priest's run in 1998 on the Marvel Knights imprint, that's when he took off. He gave him all this lore, all this backstory, gave him all this character. He invented the Dora Milaje. Yeah. Yep. So all that stuff came from him. So he left and went to go do something else. And now he is back because they brought back the Marvel Knights imprint. And that's what this book is from. It's from The World to Come. So this is the first book in that run. Also drawn by Joe Quesada. So that was alone. And I know y'all don't know who Joe Quesada is. Joe Quesada is one of my favorite artists back in the 90s. He's back.
I was quite taken back by the art too. I was like, wow. Oh yeah. Quesada is on the book. Okay.
And man, okay. We got to talk some more.
Let's read this. Let's read this.
Joe Quesada is more than just a dude that draws. He actually invented the Marvel Knights imprint. He was over Marvel back in the 90s back then, and he hired Christopher Priest to do Black Panther. He brought him in. Chris Priest didn't even want to do Black Panther. He wanted to do like Daredevil or something. Like, I thought
he was on the Daredevil book.
He was on Daredevil. Like, I thought you were going to give me a big character, a popular character. Like, nope, you get the Black Panther, nothing else. Like, shit, okay. And he wrote it. So then it became one of my favorite comic book runs. But yeah, let's talk about that. Boom, the word come. So this is what the book is about. Like I said, alternate timeline, alternate future, all the good shit like that. So let's go to it. The book starts off with T'Challa, old as shit.
Old man T'Challa,
yes. And this is decades after the world to come. His thing is the book does not explain what the world to come is. It just says it happens after the world to come. And that's the thing about this book. It time jumps backwards, forwards, blah, blah, blah.
Which is what he did a lot in his old run.
That's his writing style. It's a nightmare to narrate, but I get it when I'm reading it. But the point is,
I took it as like Tarantino type shit, like Pulp Fiction, like
which was popular back in the 90s.
Non-linear storytelling, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So one of the Dora Milaje, sends him something, and right there, boom, he dies right in front of her. So the book opens up with T'Challa dying, which also was a big deal in the news. Also, they're like, "You'll always kill a T'Challa." Calm down, man. It's alternate universe, so shit. Anyway, Dora Milaje, you know. So then they go to these freedom fighters like that. And the Dora Milaje just all around town just fucking up freedom fighters because whatever happened, the world broke out in the war after the world to come, which we still don't know what that is. So anyway, the head Dora Milaje, and then you got this old dude right here. We don't name him, but Eli, I think I have a very strong idea who he is.
Okay.
But I'll say at the end of the book. But anyway, the Dora Milaje tell the old dude, like, T'Challa's dead, the king is dead, you can come back home. He's like, let me tell you a story. And then he tells a story. So he tells a story. So we go back to before the world to come, where you also got old man T'Challa, but not old man T'Challa. Like he's old, but still capable, you know. And he kicked the shit out of the dude that challenged him for the throne. This dude's name is Katoma. And he's beating the shit out of him. He was like, look, Katoma's not ready. Y'all shouldn't do this. I'm saying this fight is over right now. But he can't end the fight because the dude's he's no longer, because he's not in charge of Wakanda. He's just a figurehead. The real dudes over T'Challa are basically, okay, so T'Challa, basically they're a republic now. This dude, I can't remember his name, what they call him. His name is He's yeah. So the elders run, basically they're like a democratic republic now. And so basically T'Challa's more or less like a figurehead, but he really has no power. So like, nah, my king, this thing doesn't end until we say it ends. So, and while he's doing all that talking, Katoma tries to sneak attack him and try to sucker punch him. And then he takes him and then accidentally knocks him off Warrior Fire. Like, oh shit. So T'Challa actually dies off behind him. Oh, and we go to Storm. He did marry Storm also for only 2 years. Now keep in mind, Storm marriage happened after Priest run, so he's acknowledging it, but it's completely different. So basically saying
he don't give a shit.
He don't give a shit. They got married, got divorced, and Storm died in the race war. Okay, they don't go into detail about it. They just it. That's it. So he has statue. Basically, he put statues all over Storm, all over Wakanda, and stuff like that. Even though he divorced her before that shit happened, and you know, then Queen Mother Ramonda shows up. Be like, look, I get that you can't sit here and look at statues all day. Because the thing is, if you get assassinated tomorrow, somebody kills you, stuff like that, then your reign is this country is going to go into chaos. In other words, you need a son, you need a sire, I need a grandson. So you need to go get remarried, basically, because he was basically in mourning, you know, mourning storms like that. So he decides to go to Monica Lynn in Paris, which we had talked about in other books before. This was his main girl in the Christopher Priest run. Here's the thing: Christopher Priest don't give a shit about anything that happened before him or after him. All he cares about what happened in his run. That's it. And anything that he does acknowledge after him, they say, well, that shit sucked. You know, him marrying Storm sucked. Republic of the Wakanda sucked. So he sees Monica Lynn and gets on bended knee, marries her. So he rescues Tacoma. Not Tacoma. That's a car. That's a truck. Katoma.
Or is that the fighting, the Marvel fighting game?
No, that's Tokon. Tokon?
Takis.
Yeah, Katama. That's his name. That's what it is, like that. So when we find out that Katama is his son, it was like, look, I'm not gonna let you. So he got pissed off that he rescued him because he was like, no, you're supposed to let me die in bed because you don't see me as a worthy opponent. He was like, no, because you're my son. So they're gonna keep fighting, and they fight dirty like that, and bam, he knocks him in the head. He's like, you can't do that. You can't use weapons in the middle of the fight. So we're gonna break for an hour. He was like, nah, we're gonna do this. So they keep fighting. Yeah. And then we find out that this is before the world to come. Monica Lynn is married to T'Challa, so that's the second wife, and pregnant with his son. So yeah. So, and then T'Challa's getting, but still fighting. But the thing is, he doesn't really want to fight his son. So his son end up getting the best of him, beats the shit out of him. And then he said, now I am the king of Wakanda. And it is a blonde-haired white dude when Katama takes off his mask. Mm-hmm. To be continued.
And that don't look like Ryan Gosling.
I mean, you can make anything look like anything nowadays. So yeah, if they want to make Ryan Gosling look like the Black Panther, they can do that. So yeah. Hold on, let's see what we got here. You better click on this. Yes, white Black Panther. That's what we got. Let me see about this. We got some comments we got to talk about.
Making white characters black. Payback for making.
Yeah, we knew they were coming. We knew they were coming.
Yeah, Christopher Priest really showed us.
And that's the thing. I think here's the thing. Y'all got to read between the lines on this shit because that is what Christopher Priest is going for. He's aiming for this shit. He knew the reaction he was going to get when he got it, and this is exactly what happened.
And that's why I read this. I'm like, yeah, he's got a plan. So I'm interested in seeing where this is going. And
now,
notice,
uh-huh.
Also, I would like to point out, notice how we saw a white Black Panther and didn't burn the world to the ground.
And that's my whole point I was about to make, Eli. That's the exact point I was about to make. Because the thing
we didn't crush. Oh, they're ruining my childhood. Oh, like all these other bitches. Meanwhile,
we didn't burn the world down. Meanwhile, look at the flip side of this. Okay, so you got boycott Captain America, boycott Ironheart, but when
Riri, boycott the Little fucking Mermaid. All these motherfuckers whining every time. Yeah,
but when they see this, they're like, wait, let's let Priest cook. Let's see how the story goes. Like, why is it okay now?
Oh, we know why.
we know why. We know why.
But we're like, let's see. Christopher Priest wrote this. Okay, let me see what this is about. I didn't like what the fuck. There was no outrage.
There was no outrage. It was some, but it was like, look, we not really, bro. And we know they were just, this shit. The point is, the majority of people saw this. They were like, I don't care. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we didn't jump on the internet and register our disgust throughout the world or make shitty long ass videos for clickbait.
Like this guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Don't worry. We're gonna click all your comments. We're gonna give you
keep engaging. Give us all the clicks.
Keep going.
Keep commenting.
Keep commenting. We gonna do. So the point is, we have a white.
Give us all the attention. We need it.
We have a white Black Panther now. It is canon. Eli, I know what you're thinking. Leroy, this is all your fault.
Now you're going deep.
Now I'm going deep.
That's a deep pull.
That's a deep pull. Most people don't know what the hell we're talking about. Before the podcast even started, I made a petition saying, why don't you give us a white Black Panther? The petition got so big, so viral, BET picked up on it. I'm like, this shit may have gotten out of hand a little bit. So it's.
And you went silent for a little bit.
I went silent. I was like, let me stop before this shit get even bigger.
It was hilarious.
Because this shit, I didn't think it was going to get out of hand like that. I didn't think it was going to be that big. But
I remember, and this is what, like 10 years ago? This is a while ago.
About 10 years ago. But Eli, I guarantee there is no way Christopher Priest did not see that petition and make this comment.
It was funny in that article that BET wrote. The person who posted this is reportedly Black.
Right. It got out. That's when if the BET shit scared me. Like that's why I called that. Why is Reed Riches? Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Give us more. Come on.
What does that say? I can't fucking.
Okay. Why is Reed Riches Chilean? Yeah.
Chilean. Why is Reed Riches?
Yeah. So, but another thing.
Why is water wet? Who gives a shit? The correct answer is who gives a shit.
Now, that being said, Eli, we got that way. Can I play devil's advocate? Can I jump on the other side? Okay. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm gonna be on this. This guy's been giving me a hand clap. The BET. Let's see what he got. His own we are. Oh, Jake did that. See, I thought you were the other guy, Jake. We already do that. But it was created by a Black guy that sold it to Viacom. Okay, yeah, keep coming. Happy Pride Month. But anyway,
so your dad can jerk off to him. That's why.
Right. Now, like I said, I'm gonna go a little bit deep on this because the thing is, like I said, that Black Panther run is one of my favorite comic book runs of all time that Priest wrote. However, there were certain things in that run that rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm seeing it here now. One thing I want to do before we go to there, remember that old guy that I said I'm gonna come back to it because I think they don't name the old guy, but I think I know who it is. The old guy that I think this is K. Everett Ross. The white guy that's in the Black Panther movies.
That's what I thought it was. I was thinking.
Okay, I didn't know.
At first, I thought it was Claw for a second, but then I'm like, no,
there's no way Claw would have lived that long without T'Challa killing him. Comics T'Challa would not let that guy live. Sorry.
Yeah, but I had a feeling it was probably him.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, especially since he's narrating the comics. So the thing is, reason I'm saying it. So there was a reason.
That is right, isn't it? He narrated those comics.
He narrated the whole comic, which K. Everett Ross narrated the original run. So
yeah,
it would just make sense if it's K. Everett Ross. That would make sense. Now the thing is, there's a reason why people keep asking, why is there a white guy in these Black Panther movies? Why is he here? Why is he here? Christopher Priest invented K. Everett Ross for a very specific reason: to get white people to read the comic.
Yeah,
that's not me. You know, that came out of his own mouth. Because he knew when he got a Black Panther comic, he knew nobody was going to read it. He know, how am I going to sell this comic? Nobody's going to read a Black Panther comic. That's why he created K. Everett Ross, a white dude, to name the comic. So the whole Black Panther comic run that he wrote, it was written from the point of view of a white man.
Yeah.
That's why he could get white people to read the comic and relate to it. That's his whole thought process of doing that. So, and
wasn't he saying like, I'm a black guy. Why are you giving me the black comic to write?
Mm-hmm.
So it's also a way to fuck with Marvel. Like, okay, I'll write.
He wanted to write a real comic, you know.
He wanted to write like the X-Men or or Spider-Man or some shit. He didn't want to be the token black guy writing the token black character. He wanted to write a main book. But they gave him Black Panther and said, okay, well, I'm gonna take Black Panther and make the main character white. And basically make him a caricature.
Right. But see, the thing was not only that, but it was funny because Priest was flipping on people's heads. Yes, the main dude of the Black Panther comic was a white guy, but if you pay attention to the comic, the dude was basically ineffectual, a dumbass, didn't know anything.
A fuck up. He was an oaf. He was a clumsy oaf.
T'Challa was fucking his wife.
He was the butt of the joke.
Yes, and they didn't get that. They get, you see that, but the point is, he's only there to make T'Challa look cool.
Yeah.
So that's what Priest was doing, flipping it on his head and stuff like that. So even with what he's doing right now with Katama, I think he's doing the same thing. We already saw the internet outrage. We know the internet outrage was coming, but if, like I said, from the little bit that we read of the story, I almost know where he's going with this. Katama's going to be the villain of the story. He is going to become the Black Panther, but I think he's the reason the world went to shit. So yes, everybody is praising and stuff like that, but I think when they finally read the story and see what's going on, they're not going to think it. He's basically going to make a point why there isn't a Black Panther.
Yeah,
or why there isn't a white Black Panther. But
they're going to kick him out of Wakanda for watching Grease all the time or something.
Right. I think he's going to burn Wakanda to the ground. I think that's what's going to happen. So and then people are going to be so happy about it now. So I think that's the whole point they're writing the story of it. So yeah. So that's all. Another thing I want to say about this that people are saying like, because people are saying like, oh, it's canon now. White Black Panther's canon, and then you got other people saying like, hey, it's alternate universe. It don't really fucking matter. I mean, female Silver Surfer was alternate universe also. And
but remember, you remember our other video, the White Power Man video,
right? The very first one we did,
where you talked about the old, what was his cousin or somebody that was white, the white Black Panther.
Hold on. Let me see. I was gonna just pay this. I gotta address. Why are you getting pissed now? Why are you getting so insensitive now? You were saying all this other crazy shit now you because you talked about
Rash, you don't know fuck all, man. I really don't. Why are you listening to me? Why are you here?
Because you call his dad gay, that's why.
Oh
yeah. Hush. I don't even know what that insult meant, but okay, all right. Anyway, what we talking about? That's all I gotta say. So this is what everybody can dress up as Halloween. They're gonna dress up as White Black Panther. It's a thing. Have fun with it. So yeah. Honestly, even if Marvel does do Ryan Gosling as White Black Panther in the new Avengers movie, so I don't care. At this point, do it. I don't give a fuck. Shit. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah. Point is, we saw this and we didn't lose our minds.
Right. That's the whole point.
Because people of color are accustomed to seeing other races with watching stories, reading stories from other races, and appreciating other races. That's basically our whole lives. You know, the very few times we get to see ourselves represented, we appreciate it because it's very few and far between. But it seems like,
and most of the time we got to go out and do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Priest was the first black writer on Black Panther.
Yeah,
and that's when he took off. That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let me see. Can we move on? Should I rate this? You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna rate this a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, we talked about everything but the comic. But I'm gonna rate this a 4 out of 5. I almost would give a 4.5 out of 5 because Quesada, he's still at his pen game is still good. But I'm gonna say 4 out of 5 because Priest gave us more questions than answers in this book.
Yeah, it felt it felt very choppy. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 just because, yes, it was very choppy and kind of all over the place, and felt like, okay, I should. He is referencing in the old run. So.
And I do like the fact because notice there's no Shuri here.
Yeah.
Because he didn't create Shuri, so he don't give a shit about Shuri. So.
Yeah. So it was a little choppy, a little all over the place. I get it that it just felt like a setup. It was setting up something, and narratively, it was like not as coherent. But the art was cool.
I have faith in Priest. He's gonna bring it home.
Yeah. So I'm interested. I'm on board. So.
So you guys see how it goes. Okay.
Also, I wanted to say. One point I will make about Christopher Priest is this felt refreshing to read a Black Panther book that felt a little fun and goofy. Can I dare say?
Man, oh shit, Eli, yes.
You know what I'm saying? You do know what I'm saying. Okay, it didn't just me.
I know exactly what you're saying. Because I've been talking about this, man, and I've been getting shitted on for this. I basically said the Black Panther movies ruined Black Panther as a character. Because the thing is, before the movies, I'm just saying, not the quantum. I'm just saying, before the movies came out, Black Panther was doing all kind of crazy shit. T'Challa was fighting aliens and zombies and monsters and going all this shit, time traveling, whatever, for fighting all kind of Marvel and shit like that. After the movies, now he got to be this representation for the African diaspora, and it can't be nothing else but that. The motherfucker never set foot out of Wakanda since then. When before the movies, you couldn't keep him in Wakanda. That motherfucker was everywhere. He would just show up every night
beating up Puffy and
right. All kind of just doing wild shit. Yes, but now he can't do anything but be in Wakanda. Talk about the African diaspora. He has to be a representation of every metaphor in the world instead of just being.
Yeah,
I just want to fight. I just want to fight
a symbolism of royalty and governing and
I get all that, man. I just want to see him just do wild shit like he used to. Can he fight samurais and ninjas and shit? That's all.
So because it's been a while since he felt, I don't want to say fun, but like a little like tangible, you know what I mean, or something.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm not saying nothing wrong with those stories because Christopher Reeve's stories were heavily involved in it also, but he wasn't afraid to try to just do wacky shit. Yeah, like he would just like time travel with himself, and they just go on adventures and shit.
Yeah, like a blaxploitation flick. That's what his first. That's what it felt like. Like I said, I'm referencing Tarantino. It felt like like a blaxploitation movie. His old run. Yeah,
because it felt like every writer after Coates, they're scared to do anything.
Yes,
because Coates had to.
Coates is smart.
Coates is smart, yes. So every Black Panther comic has to be like that. Like, no, they don't. You can you can do us like you can pepper this stuff in there, but it's still a comic book at the end of the day. It's still a dude in a cat suit running around the city.
Yeah.
Like, remember that shit. That's all I'm saying. So
have him throw a punch once in a while.
Right. He like, what side of the fence are we on? I don't even know what side we on. I don't know if we PC gamers or we.
Well, that was my thing with Coach's run. It was very smart and philosophical, and it had all this political commentary and all this, a lot of stuff to say about governing the world and governing populaces and and old ways of thinking versus new ways and technology versus religion.
Priest took a shot. I think Priest took a shot at him on this issue also.
And it just like, wow. I mean, it's that's all fine, but like, come on, can he fight a ninja at some point in this book? Does he throw a punch? It's 20 pages of a fucking council.
Right. Just him monologuing and internalizing and shit.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like in Totes run, Black Panther, like Wakanda went into this republic and shit like that. They got rid of the monarchy because one man can't have all this power and shit like that.
Yeah.
Priest had a line in here like, you can't do that to a country that's been a 10,000 years, mother. You can't throw them into this shit. It was gonna be disaster. It didn't happen. Like when Priest said this shit, like, oh, is he taking this shot at Coach for this shit? Like,
and that was a good moment in this book. You know, like that would fuck up the status quo. You know, because you're talking about traditions versus you're talking about killing traditions or ending a tradition.
Like just like that when people have been doing this shit for decades, millennia. Yeah. Yeah.
And the aftermath that it would cause, and that was interesting.
So that's what I want to give it a 4. I can't give it a 4.5. I can't because it's like you said, the book's too disjointed. But I'm thinking of stuff that like, okay, keep Priest throwing some shit in here, man. It's like the first fun Black Panther comic in 20 years we've read. Like shit. Anyway, and he's white, so I don't know what.
Oh no, not Christopher Priest ain't white, but the Black Panther.
Black Panther's white. Yeah.
No, I met Christopher Priest, and I can confirm he's not white.
You're right. Oh man. Oh.
Wakanda.
Oh yeah, he's good. Now I'm scared to click and stuff. He might get us kicked off. I don't know. Okay. Keep commenting though. All right, Eli, I'm throwing it back to you. No, I'm going to answer that. Actually, not true because Wakandas were isolationists. They didn't conquer anybody. They stuck to themselves. Unlike so-called country you just mentioned. So. Right.
But also Wakanda doesn't exist either. So wah.
Right.
This is all make-believe and funny book stuff.
Right. Okay. Let's move to the next part. Okay. Yeah. We're throwing the comic back to you. Okay.
All right. What do I got? Oh, I got that Star Wars book. Star Wars Jedi Knights. So this is just Jedi Knights pre-Phantom Menace. So this has Qui-Gon Jinn and Shakti, and basically just the adventures of the Jedi Council before the Sith returned. So each issue is so far been like a one-shot story, and it's been pretty cool so far. And this one, number 4, Qui-Gon and Shakti are after this like criminal mastermind thief who's going around and ripped off a senator, like drained their bank account. It turns out this senator was fronting for the Hutts, for Jabba, actually.
Okay.
So then Jabba put out a hit on this thief. So every bounty hunter in the galaxy is after them, and so the Jedi are after this thief too. Well, it turns out she's basically playing everybody, and has the Jedi basically uses leaves a trail for the Jedi to find her, and then when the Jedi do find her, they end up saving her from the bounty hunters, and she set that all up because the bounty hunters found her. We're about to kill her because she's wanted dead or alive, but then the Jedi show up and take the bounty hunters out, and then she escapes. so she's like one step ahead of everybody, and then in the end, Jango Fett helps her out too, and she gives him a cut. So this has Jango Fett in it. So yeah, this is just
on this also. So.
Yeah. Well, usually Star Wars books, they always put good artists on them because it's Star Wars. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, a fun romp, crime caper through the Star Wars underworld, which I've always wanted to see. And like I said, I keep reading shit like this, and I'm like, what the fuck? The Boba Fett show. You had one job,
right?
What the hell? But yeah, this was cool. This was a lot of fun. Again, it was just a one-shot story. But every month. So every month, it's not. There is like a little bit of a background plot, where there's someone trying to assassinate Qui-Gon. That sort of dips into every issue, but it's that's the only thing connecting this book or all these issues. Every month, it's a new story. So a new one-shot story. So yeah, this is cool. I'm digging this. The only Star Wars book I am reading right now. So yeah,
okay, there's a few other ones out there. So yeah. Yeah. There's a few, but this is the only one I'm been on. 4 issues in, they still got me. So yeah. Nice. Okay. All right. Last book I got. We're not gonna go as deep as we did the other one, but I had to. Yeah. And so we did one black superhero. We're going to do another black superhero. What do we got here?
What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Yeah. Whoa. With DEI.
What the fuck, man? You know?
I'm just preparing Lee Pritchard before we get started. So yeah, before he loses shit. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna talk about Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Eli,
I read this.
You read this? Okay.
This.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So, but those are, like I said, the Ultimate Universe been going on. The Ultimate Universe first started off. The maker gave Miles Morales an invitation because Miles Morales is not from the 616, the original universe. He hopped over from the universe for, doing a favor for the Molecule Man. So he's a immigrant or whatever you want to call it. So he asked him to come back over here. He didn't want to come to it. And this story is about he does come over. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right. Get out of that. There we go. All right. So the book starts off with everything I just said. We're gonna move on past that. And the thing is, Miles barely even remembers anything before the 616. Like he didn't remember the old Ultimate Universe. Like he remembers he was there, but didn't remember too much about it. But anyway, he just puts his sister to bed. And the thing is, the card that the maker gave him jumps up and starts glowing, and his baby sister grabs it. And as soon as he walks the door, his spider sense goes off, like, uh-oh, my sister's in danger. So that's when he sees her getting sucked into this portal, and he jumps in the portal also after her, and he nanotechs his suit and shit like that, and tries to catch her, but he didn't catch her in time. And she gets captured by, we don't know who. We'll find out later on. All right, so then we cut to now. So now we're in the 6160? Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Ultimate 2.0, the world where the new Ultimate Universe is. So you got Spider-Man and the son of Spider-Man around here. That's Richard Parker.
The new Maker universe. The new Maker. The new Ultimate, the one that we're reading now.
Right, not the new old one, but the new one. So yeah. So anyway, they see teleporting portals popping up, so like that. And there's both of them so new to Spider-Man, they don't even know what the hell this is. Like, I don't know what this is. And who pops out? The Spot. The Spot shows up. He like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Who are y'all? And he basically, they like Charlie. We don't know who this guy is. Kick the shit out of him, and the Spot beats the shit out of both of them. Like nothing they can do. They're just getting the shit kicked out of them. They're like,
this is pretty cool, I gotta say. Scene.
And then Spot turns around and Spider-Man's like, oh, something behind you. He like, what? And then bam, Miles Morales pops out of nowhere and then knees him in the jaw and shit like that and knocks him out. And they're like, whoa, what the hell is that? And then Miles is like, okay, Spot, check. Multiple Spider-Man, check. New Universe, check. Shit, I'm in a Spider-Verse movie, ain't I? And then he was like, Spot? That's a cool ass name. I think I'm gonna use that. He's like, oh shit. So he's accidentally fucking with this universe, not knowing his universe. But he kicks the shit out of Spot, knocks him down, and then uses electricity and bam, knocks him out. And they're like, whoa, what kind of Spider-Man is he with electricity powers and shit? So like, yeah. And then he walks over like, nice to meet you, Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man. And then he's like, cool. And then he looks at Richard Parker. He like, oh, you must be Venom. He like, who's Venom? He like, but you know what? I'm gonna use that. That's a cool ass name. He like, no, you can't use that name. Nah, no takes back. I'm Venom now. He like, oh shit, I fucked up.
He's naming everybody.
Yes, he named everybody. And then he goes, well, you know what they say? You know what they say about Spider-Man? They're like, what do they say? They're like, does whatever a spider can. So they're so new, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They just look at, they like Richard Parker is like a groupie for Miles Morales. Like what the kids say, glazing him. So yeah, like, look how he's swinging, man. He's swinging so awesome, Dad. He's so cool, like the coolest Spider-Man ever. Like he's way cooler than you,
Yeah, because how long have they been Spider-Man?
Well, okay, so Peter
like 6 months or something.
Well, no, Peter's been maybe like a year.
Okay, about a year. Yeah.
But Richard's only been like 6 months.
Yeah.
So they're both like new as hell at this right
now. They're
new.
They're noobs.
They're new. So it's weird. It's like, so Miles is like the mentor and they're like the trainees, mentees, whatever you call it. So yeah. So like swimming. Basically they're looking for his sister right now. They can't find him. Peter's looking he's feeling kind of insecure that his son is basically saying that he's got a new favorite Spider-Man. You're like, well, do you have a new favorite father also? Is it Uncle Ben? So he like messing with him and shit, but that's and then the Spot wakes back up. He was like, no, I'm not done yet. But Miles is like, man, didn't I tell you we done with you already? We want to another storyline. And so he beats the shit out of him again, and then people like, okay, yeah, he's cool as hell. I'm sorry. But that's not the big story. The big story is the Confederacy, the makers, people and shit like that. So they picked up on that there's a teleporting portal that just popped out of nowhere. Everybody knows about it. It's like, wait, what the hell's going on here? A portal popped up, and then the portal has the signature of the maker. They're like, is the maker back? They're like, well, either he's back or somebody's using his technology. Oh, and this is fucked up. Remember Sunspot, Roberto?
Yeah,
His father
his
is
dad.
sucking him dry. So yeah. And so they don't know what the power is. All they know is they want it. So everybody's like, so it's like a power grab for this. So whatever is going on, they're about to go for him right now. So yeah. Meanwhile, the Ultimates also get that power signature also. They're like, is the maker back? And Doom is like, nah, he's not back. How do you know? Because we're still alive. So he's not back yet. So they're like, okay, don't worry. We're gonna send two Ultimate. We're gonna see two team members down there to take care of this and see what's going on. They're like, you want to send those two people? Yeah. So yeah. All right. So meanwhile, Miles is still swinging, and meanwhile they can't find his sister. So Peter, being a dad, he's like, man, it's getting late. I gotta put my son to bed. Why don't you come back to the crib and come back to the house with us? And like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sleeping. I won't rest until I find my sister. She's like, well, shit, man, we can't do this. We got stuff to do. You're like, as a matter of fact, Richard, Venom, you got to go to bed. It's past your bedtime. You're like, but Dad, all this shit like that. You're like, you're embarrassing me in front of the cool Spider-Man. So he's like, man, maybe Spider Dad was right. Maybe I don't know this world like I thought. So he goes to Brooklyn. He sees all kind of weird shit already just swinging around. White people staying in his house. So obviously, and he don't even know if he even exists here. The maker might have completely erased him. He sees a sign that basically the Avengers are terrorists. He's like, okay, this world is way crazier than I thought it was. And then, boom, he gets snatched up by the Wasp. Her growing big is a thing in the 616 also. She just didn't do it as much. And Ant-Man is riding her shoulder, to be continued. So it is going on. So the thing is, they say that this story was written by Dennis Camp, but I went on Dennis Camp's Twitter. It was actually written by Cody Ziegler. Cody Ziegler is the writer of the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales Spider-Man comic. Which is why the dialogue sounds so much like Miles Morales in that comic. Because honestly, I almost would have got offended if Cody Ziegler was, if Dennis Camp was writing Miles Morales like that, using all kind of Gen Z terms and shit. So yeah. Woke as fucking ass. Yes, it is. Thank you for listening. Okay. But overall, fun books going into it. But I want to know if they're gonna keep it going, because I think we just found out that Wasp works for the Confederacy. She works for them. So I want to know how this is going to play out. I'm not reading that Ultimates book. I'm just reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and I think that might be it. Yeah.
So when it went on to all that, when it went on to the council or whatever, I didn't really. I knew of the Hulk, like the Gray Hulk, and Sunspot's dad, Berto's dad or whatever. Yeah, that was about it. But I didn't know about any of the other shit. So that's where it kind of lost me, because I'm not reading that other book. But
yeah, because it's more deeper into that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this last time you see Peter and Richard in this book, like in this run.
Yeah, but I was digging it. I was digging the all that banter.
He's supposed to travel all over the world. He's supposed to travel. He's supposed to meet Black Panther. Supposed to meet like Ultimate Wolverine, the X-Men. He's supposed to meet all of them. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the banter, like I said, the banter was cool because, like I said, it's written by Cody Ziegler, which that Miles Morales run is pretty good. Like I said, we reviewed it a few times on here. Wow, shit is going on in that book. He's really separating Miles from Peter. Like people saying that Miles like a Peter clone. Miles doing his own thing. He's like an avatar of a African god or some shit, in that. So
yeah.
So all right, fun book. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Like I said, and like it almost felt like a Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah,
real quick. So yeah, because there was no reason for Spot to be here. So
yeah.
All right. Hold up. Let me see. What do we got here? I'm gonna keep clicking these comments. See what we got. Oh God, man, sleep. What? Oh no! I shouldn't have clicked that. No. Okay, sorry. Anyway, anything else you got or?
Do you have it? Did you read Imperial?
I didn't. I read a little bit of it. Now, tell me this.
I did not read it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was. It was the Hickman book. But after reading this, and then The World to Come, and all my other books, I was like, man, I just couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do another. Like, I couldn't do a Hickman.
Well,
I was like,
here's the thing. It's secretly like a Hulk book.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looked all spacey and shit, and I was like, okay, I just didn't have the patience.
It's Hulk in space.
Oh, well, maybe I'll give it a look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I figured you would have read it, but okay.
No, I thought about it. I thought it was the White Black Panther book. But like, this ain't the White Black Panther book. And what the fuck? Like, and then I read that. Like I said, it was like Hickman. You know how Hickman gets.
If Hickman would have wrote a White Black Panther book. Then I would have got pissed. Then I would have been like everybody else.
Well, that's what I said. Is it in a Hickman book? And like,
we would have been making posts just like everybody else is. See, woke Marvel would have been just like old boy right here. So
yeah. But no, I guess my runner-up would be that Daredevil book.
Okay. You still on that? Because that book is pissing a lot of people off.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get it. Like, what is this? 22? I think by 24, I'm done. I gave it a solid 2 years.
25. You guys see 25.
Is it 25?
25. Okay, then you.
Okay, I figured I've been on it for 2 years. It's been hit or miss. That's
the unwritten rule. When you hit 25, then you're allowed to jump off a book by then.
Yeah. So this has that mushroom guy, that mushroom spore dude. It's like Last of Us. He's fighting a mushroom Last of Us spore guy who's infecting Hell's Kitchen, and it turns out to be one of the Strawman's nephews or whatever. So he's a rich asshole who's, whatever. It's all right. Cool art, So like Daredevil versus Last of Us, basically it was.
You kind of selling me on it. Maybe I'll check it out. I guess
it's like this. Well, this story arc. I think this. I think it might be done. Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe there's a couple more issues. Maybe it goes to 24 or 25, and then I'll be done. But
Lee Pritchard says he knows more about Marvel than us. Oh, we went the wrong one. Oh, did they bleep him? I think they bleeped him. Wow.
Right. We'll just say
I didn't know they did that. Did I have a AI sensor on or something? I guess.
You suck mushroom tip. What did he say? Yes, I do. All of them. All of them.
Just admit he knows more about Marvel than us. You do, Lee Pritchard. We concede to you. You are the guy.
Mm-hmm.
We bow to you.
Yes. You are the dude. We so want to fuck you so hard. You're hot as fuck.
Thank you for showing up for Pride Month. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else we got? Or
no, that's about it. I think I'm booked out. The moon is following us. That ended. That was very heartbreaking.
Like ended like it's done.
Yeah, it was number 10. It was kind of a bittersweet ending. Daniel Warren Johnson knows how to tug at your heartstrings. And what else did I read? Read something else, but I don't remember. Oh, Absolute Superman, still going strong. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't read that.
I'm gonna get caught up. Don't worry, I'm gonna get caught up, and then I'll jump back in the conversation. I fell off, and I'm like, what do I jump? What do I do?
Well, this one they finally showed Ra's al Ghul.
He like huge as fuck in this book, ain't he?
Yeah, well, Lazarus Core. No,
I'm like physically big, isn't
he? He looks very space agey. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, they doing something different, but okay.
And what else did I read something else? Oh, I checked out that the Godzilla Kong versus the Justice League, the new one.
Part 2, yeah.
Yeah, just and I haven't even finished the last run,
When he beat Superman ass, I was done. I was just like.
And then reading this one, it reminded me of why I didn't finish it. It gets so wordy. Like it's just it's like all the superheroes exposition for half the book, and then maybe some fight. Maybe the kaiju shows up for a few.
Right, if it gets the comic book is a comic book. So
yeah. And this one I just showed up just because I wanted to see kaiju King Shark. And so he grew up to kaiju size and fought Godzilla and got his ass whooped, and then shrunk back down to normal size and said, "Fuck that."
Oh,
shit.
Damn. Okay.
That was about it. Yeah. So that was another honorable mention.
Nice. Okay. Like I said, I guess that's it. I guess that's all the books we got. So if you listen this long, Lee Pritchard, definitely like, share, subscribe. I know we woke as fuck and you the Marvel genius stuff like that. Man, give us a subscribe, man. Go ahead and like it. You've been here long shit.
Yeah, you're making it fun.
Yeah. Like I said, next week we're gonna come up with some new stuff. I don't know. We're just gonna keep tracking along. I don't know. I got some ideas of what we might do if some bullshit happens, but we'll see where it goes. Until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
No. What were you about to say?
I thought, what do you call it, come out? No, that's the end of the month. Riri.
Yeah, reread down into the moment. Don't worry, we'll review. People been asking, y'all gonna review reread? Yes, we're not boycotting Marvel. So yeah, and watch he watches it too. I hate this show. I'm gonna watch all 8 episodes.
Yes. Which was give us our review on. Give us your review on Riri. We would love to,
because you know you're gonna watch it. You know you're gonna hate it. You're gonna watch it twice.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Let us know what you think.
Right. Tell us what's your worst episode that you hated on there, because we know you're gonna have.
And let it all out. Just let it all out.
Just let it go. We're gonna click everything you got on this. Okay. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next later. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.